Here we have a pre-owned 2019 Chevrolet Trax. This one comes in the LS trim level in Summit White. And then we have jet black cloth interior. The powertrain consists of a 1.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. And that's mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission. And then this certified Chevy Trax comes with just a little over 51,000 miles on it. But as we come around to the front end here, we do get our halogen headlamps, so nothing crazy going on, no LEDs, but you could easily swap those if you wanted to. And just a little bit of road rash. You can see there, and then a little down there, but for the most part, it's held up pretty nicely. And then as we come around to the wheels here, these are 16-inch aluminum wheels. Just a little bit of fingernail scratches here on the door handle and around. But over to the door panel here, we do get power mirrors, so we just pick a side and adjust, and then we can offset them there. But I do like how these windows are set up. So we get one-touch automatic up and down for the driver's side and express down for the other 3 windows. Rear window lock there, power door lock controls here, little pocket there, bottle holder, and then additional storage. Headlamp controls are here. We can toggle the auto mode on and off. And then brightness for the gauge cluster and all that can be adjusted. Little storage pocket here. And then this manually tilt and telescopes the steering wheel. And then there's our release for the hood there. And there's our driver's seat. So we do get power lumbar support, and then a manual seat back, manual seat bottom. But I have that seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs. So let's check out this rear seat room. And a huge shout out to Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this Trax today. I'll leave a link below in the description if you want to get a closer look at it. But that's my leg room there. Again, I'm 6'3", so this is a smaller vehicle, so I'm not surprised there. It's doable if I needed to. Well, it's really not. It's not comfortable for me at all, but your kids could sit back here no problem, and I could probably sit on that side, no issue. And just how the center is kind of set up there, I can't even put my foot over there. I've got size 15 shoes on, but still. So that's the only issue I have so far. But seat back pockets, I like how they put a netted one here and a regular one there. And even in this LS, we do get the drop down cup holders in that center seat. And then grab handle here, we could put a plastic hanger, probably 2 or 3 metal ones there, just how that hook is set up. And the child locks are on, so give me 1 second. And then to set those, you can just turn that one way or the other to unlock or lock them. But coming around to the back end here, there's a tow package that's been installed on this one. Probably did some light bike towing or something like that. I think this can tow like 1,000 pounds or 1,500, something like that. But got a little crack in the tail lamp here. That's why there's water there. But popping the trunk here, I like that we have this storage pocket here if we want stuff to stay in the back but not roll around. And then in here, nothing really going on. It's just access panel. And then underneath here, you have your spare tire. But pretty usable, especially when you fold these seats down. And I'll show you how to do that in a sec. Gas cap is here. And to the rear passenger seat, hit this lever here, and they don't fold all the way flat, but they'll go about right there. And if you want even more space, you can pull the seat bottom up and it'll fold in there, but not really worth it in my opinion. And then here's our front passenger seat. So we have a manual seat back levers there, manual seat bottom levers there. And then glove compartment, owner's manuals are still in this one. And then as we come around to the front, once again, there we have that 1.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. And now let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. So nice vinyl wrap steering wheel here. Even though it's not leather, I love the design, how it has that perforation on the sides, gives you kind of that sporty feel. And I just like how that feels in general. But to the radio here, we do get AM, FM, and Bluetooth. And then we have wired Apple CarPlay, wired Android Auto compatibility. And let me just say, these settings here, whoever had this car before knew what they were doing, because however this is set up here, I had it on the country station, and it was just super loud, in your face, sounded very clean. I thought it was aftermarket speakers in here, but it sounds really good. So even though this is the stock system, you can get it to sound how you want to for the most part. And you can just adjust volume here and then click that to mute, and then you can power the whole system down by holding it longer. But settings, time and date can be adjusted there. Language here. To connect your phone, just hit add phone, it walks you right through it. And then Wi-Fi hotspot, all of that can be adjusted there. And then your apps you can turn on and off. And then this is where all your vehicle settings are here, so all of that can be adjusted there as well. And that's kind of your home page. You can set up presets just by holding there. And then I believe you have 10 presets that you can set up, something like that. There's the backup camera. Guidelines follow you as you turn the steering wheel. And we can set those guidelines on and off there. And then I like that we have the shortcuts here, so we can actually just pull up the Bluetooth button right there. But hazards are here, traction control toggles here, all of your AC controls are here, so temperature is adjusted there. AC, you can turn that on and off. Vents, you can close those, open them, and then you can pick fan direction here where you want the air to go. And then you can choose that fan speed there, and then your rear defroster toggle is right there. 2 USB-A ports, so you can use the USBs for the Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and then you have an aux input, 12 volt storage down in here, and then the shifter, pull the lever in the back, reverse, neutral, drive. Then you have your manual mode, and you can manually shift using this here if you want to, and it'll show you what gear you're in that bottom right part of that digital gauge cluster. 2 cup holders here, well 3 cup holders, excuse me, and then an additional one for the back. So it's nice to know that you have 6 cup holders even in this smaller vehicle. And then parking brakes there. You do get an armrest for the driver's side, which is nice. And there's a view of the back seat from up here. And then dome lights are here. And I like that we do get a vanity mirror as well. But back to the steering wheel, blinkers. And then we can go through our gauge cluster there. We just scroll using this, and then this is a set or a clear button, so I can reset the trip meter by holding that. And then when I go to the vehicle settings, I can do all of that. So like to toggle the units from US to metric, you could just hit that and then toggle it or exit. So that's kind of like an enter button in a sense. But I like that we do get the tire pressure monitors. And then when your headlamps are on, you can just do your high beams, toggle them on and off, and then flash there. And then windshield wiper controls, one time, that's off, intermittent, low, high, and you can adjust your intermittent right here. And then your rear wiper, pull down for the intermittent, or then push all the way up for on, then kind of have to get in that sweet spot in the middle to turn it off. And then you just pull back for the rear wiper fluid, push up for the front wiper fluid. And we don't have cruise control on this one, but we do have our volume controls and then our track list or radio station presets here. We can toggle our sources just by clicking that button. And then we have our mute, and then these also serve as Bluetooth controls, and then this is a voice recognition button, so you can turn that on there. And then key fob is right here. We do have a turn key, but unlock, lock, and then panic button. And next, let's go ahead and take this 2019 Chevy Trax LS out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Trax LS, I think as a new vehicle, especially before the redesign the Trax just got, this wasn't necessarily, for me at least, the most desirable vehicle, but especially as a used one with a couple years on it, certified warranty and all that, it's a very, very good deal in my opinion, just for the usability you get, kind of having that station wagon feel where you can put all that you can in that trunk space. And then it's still, especially as a bigger person in the driver's seat, in the front in general, you have enough space. Even the seat bottom is wide enough for a wider stature. It becomes more and more, I think, of a smart purchase. Just buying one of these with a few years on it, a lot of, I guess, discount as opposed to the MSRP. But let's give it a little throttle here. And it certainly isn't a slouch with a 1.4 turbo. Now again, one of my few issues I have with this vehicle is just, it mostly has to do with the features. Just with this one not having the cruise control, it's kind of a bummer. But if you use this for a lot of just beating around town, it's not going to be a big issue. But on longer trips, especially if you have to commute 30, 40 miles down the interstate, you may want to just go ahead and find one that has cruise control. I believe the LT trim and higher has the cruise, and then the LS, I think you can get it optionally. Of course, you can always add an aftermarket cruise control system, but I just like having mine stock personally. But I've seen some Trax LSs with the aftermarket cruise controls, and they work just fine. But I mean, ride quality is solid, and surprisingly, the sound acoustics in here are very impressive. I heard the road noise a lot more than I heard the wind coming through the windows. And another great thing about these is they're just so easy to drive. You have a small SUV feel, and it drives like a Mini Cooper in a sense. It's not as agile as that, of course, but that's just how small in terms of length the vehicle is, the wheelbase, all of that. So just super simple driving dynamics. And it is, I don't know what something's rattling now, but it might just be that low end. Something loose might be in the engine bay, I don't know. But that's not right there. Could be a exhaust leak of some sort, I don't know. But anyways, it's just it's a small SUV, and it handles like one. It gets the job done like one. And especially if you're on a budget and you're trying to save as much money as possible, it's cheap. And then again, with your fuel economy numbers, you're saving at the pump as well. But let's try this manual mode out. So downshifts are pretty quick, and the upshifts are pretty quick too. This manual mode is pretty solid. Again, I don't know what that rattling sound is, kind of in these lower RPMs. So that's somewhat annoying. I'm sure it's something simple though. It always is. But again, just a bargain, I think, for the money, because it's a simple running driving vehicle. You get your Bluetooth, you get your CarPlay, Android Auto. Again, no cruise, but everything else is just, you know, you get what you pay for. But it's nice to have that standard Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and Bluetooth. It's pretty much a necessity these days. But yeah, I don't know what that rattling sound is. It's pretty annoying. But other than that, I mean, again, good SUV for the money in my opinion. And this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2019 Chevy Trax in the LS trim level.